Hello, and welcome. Today you'll be listening to a episode of Podcastrophe. But let me tell you a little something about this episode. You know, sometimes in podcasting, mistakes are made. There are some follies that happen. You know, we're all human here on the Journey into Comics Network, and sometimes, shit just happens. Well, on this particular episode of Podcastrophe, I, Dr. Dongo Richie, OBGYN, forgot to turn on the phantom power for Mr. Tyler McLaughlin's microphone. So, for about the first 29 to 30 minutes, you only hear Mr. McLaughlin through my microphone or the guest's microphone, at which point I realized, oh shit, I didn't turn that on. So, without further ado, and please excuse the poor quality for the first 30 minutes, as that is my mistake, this is Podcastrophe. Ho ho!
We're gonna fuck the sodomites in the...
Warning, Podcastrophe imminent. This is Podcastrophe with Dick and Tyler, and we're coming at you with a fistful of heritage on a podcast where anything goes and there are no safe spaces. This is Podcastrophe.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 32 of Podcastrophe. I am your host, Dick. I am joined, like always, with Tyler.
Hey, hey, hey! What you say?
What?
I don't know.
Well, we're
I'm
off.
not at work, so I'm in a really good
I was gonna say we're off to a much jollier start than normal.
Yeah.
Normally, like, hey, hey,
Hey.
hey.
I got,
Hi,
I got
everybody.
two of my best friends in the world.
Hell yeah.
So what
Hell
do I
yeah.
have to complain about?
Well, introduce your other best friend.
This is my good friend Travis. How you doing today, Travis?
Not bad. After crawling around in the ceiling half the day, and I'm kind of itchy with fiberglass, but
Ah, gross.
I've had a shower,
It's
so
never.
it's
That's
not
never
bad now.
fun.
You can't shower enough.
No,
After
it's
that.
it's a couple days. It's a couple days to get out of your skin, but that's why they pay me the big bucks.
Hell yeah. So, what do you do? Yeah.
I am a union electrician.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm locally here in Lafayette. Our jurisdiction is the surrounding 6 counties. I couldn't name them all right now, but we mostly work here in Lafayette.
Okay.
We do a lot of work at Purdue. I'm currently with a crew that does a lot of work at Caterpillar, the actual cat facility. Over the past year, I've been doing a lot of service work for all the IU clinics in town, which would be Greenbush, West Side, South Side, Ferry Street, Salem Street, which just closed back in January. So they took everybody that was in Salem Street and split them up.
I didn't know they closed it.
Yeah, so they split them up between Ferry Street and Greenbush. So they've been dumping a lot of money in the Greenbush facility to, get it up and running and get it to where they're accepting all these new doctors and nurses and stuff.
It didn't make sense, though. It makes sense that they closed it, because it doesn't make sense to have Greenbush, Salem, and Ferry Street,
And the hospital.
and the hospital all less than a block.
And
away
the
from
School
each
of
other.
Nursing is right there too. So there's IU and St. E.
Mhm.
They're all right there. And then you got the Lafayette Heart Institute, which is also in that same area.
I would imagine not too many years from now, St. E Central will close too.
Yeah, that
I've heard a lot of people talking about it, just because there's not really a whole lot of shit going on down there.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised they closed Home Hospital before they closed that one down there. I mean,
Yeah.
they tore it down to the ground, and then, they got it down fast too, and then it was a giant hole.
There's no money in an empty building. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your friend Andy Dietrich says you don't work very hard.
It is what it is.
Yeah, if whoever's in the chat today, please just go ahead, leave some comments, ask questions. We'll talk to you.
The way that I look at it, I get paid to work. I don't get paid to work hard.
Yeah,
True.
I mean, work harder than he does. He drives around a golf cart all day at CAT, so
like you're expected to work to a certain level, but you should never exceed that level.
Because then the expectations of you get raised, and then you're fucked.
Mm-hmm. Or they just laugh at you, and they're just like, you're working way harder than what you're paid for.
Yep. That's above my pay grade.
Yep. The way I work is
30%.
I put in my 30% and I'm good. I'm what is known as the bare minimum. I get it done. I get it done, and I get it done good enough.
Yes.
That's how you do it. Oh shit, we got Alex Taylor in the chat. Not saying anything yet, but said she just joined. What's up, Alex? Shout out.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah. I'm gonna open my beer. I want beer.
I already opened my beer.
Yeah.
The delicious platinum nuggets from 450 North.
Oh yeah.
Travis,
Which we can begin to talk about that.
Travis had the inaugural drink here. What'd you think of platinum
That's
nuggets?
pretty good.
Would you drink this again?
Yes.
Everything that I've had, I can't say it enough, everything that I've had from the Nugget series is good. I have not had a bad one yet. So.
Yeah, it's they've all been, even the because they had the fudge nuggets, they had the cocoa nuggets, and the cookies and cream nuggets, all of which are kind of stouts.
The fudge nugget's the one I have not tried.
Fudge was really good. I'm not a stout fan. I do not like stouts, but I have enjoyed every single one of those. The fudge was my favorite.
They go above and beyond what a typical stout would be, I think, which is why you enjoy it.
Yes.
Because it's not just plain stout flavor.
Mm-hmm.
There's more there for you to enjoy.
Before we move on, Andy says, ask Travis, why are you the way that you are? Every time I try to do something fun or exciting, you make it not that way.
Classic.
Elaborate.
Yeah.
Let's get down to the bottom of why are you the way that you are?
Just years of oppression and
Like
anxiety, just all around oppression from my friends, my family.
I lift you up.
Especially Andy. He's
a piece of shit.
he
That's
knows how to push my buttons.
That's my longest tenured friend in existence. And he had the opportunity to be on the show tonight, and he turned me down.
What a bummer. You could have been on this. This could have been you in this room drinking some beer with us.
Shit talking Travis face to face.
Yeah. And you're not. So that's a loss in my book.
No.
Podcastrophe 1. Andy Dietrich. Nothing. I put up 2.
Yeah.
I was like, eh.
The Travis book.
Almost had 2 points, but
Yeah, you almost did, but I took it away because
Blames the podcast not to.
I am
hell
not.
hath no fury like
I'm not a
the-
podcast Nazi.
like the host of Podcastrophe.
I did not. I did not say that.
I did not.
Hey, Brittany, what's up? That's my cousin Brittany checking us out all the way from California.
Hell yeah, what's up?
So what do you got brewing over there on your knee?
I got this fresh fruit milkshake IPA. It's blueberry. Apparently,
Yes.
Dick does not like it.
Nobody likes it.
Nobody
Yeah,
likes it?
literally nobody liked it.
So there's a little bit of a backstory. I found this this beer. It's blueberry infused beer called Wild Blue, and I bought some. I really liked it. I was talking with T-Mac about it, and he's like, "Dude, I'd love to try that." So when 450 North came and took over the bar at Jerry Lee's down at Market Square, I brought, I don't know, it was like 2 or 3 or something.
2 of them.
I brought 2 of them and gave them to him. He's like, "Hey, we'll check us out on the next podcast." So, of course, I'm like, "Hell yeah, man! You're gonna love it. It's really good. It looks like
And
grape juice, and it's got blueberry bits in it, and I really enjoyed it." They did not.
We did
At-
not.
yeah,
with-
we did follow through, and we did, in fact, try it live on
We
Podcastrophe.
drank almost all of it.
I did not.
I did not.
I took a drink. I took a couple swigs of it just to make sure I didn't like it.
I even made you take like an additional.
Yeah, and I was just,
With extreme prejudice, they did not like it.
I did not.
For spoiler alert for the live feed, but if you're listening to this via any of the services like Podbean or Spotify, iTunes, all that, this is happening after Fool's Week, so we're all back on our normal scheduled shows.
The timeline has been
It's
rectified.
yes. So last week, instead of Brews with Dudes, you got Brews with Babes, in which Foodies Watching Movies host Lauren Million hosted Brews with Babes, Dudes, Babes, Babe Dudes, Babe Dudes, and they actually tried Wild Blue on there.
And what did they think?
I haven't listened any further than my mixing of the podcast, but from what I gathered, they did not like it.
I must be the only person ever that has bought some.
We have a very large group of friends that are into craft beer, and not one person I have talked to about Wild Blue.
Nick hates it.
He fucking hates it.
He hates it. I mentioned that we tried it on a Podcastrophe. He's like, "Oh," and I was like, "Yeah, guess what?" He's like, "Don't tell me." I'm like, "They had it on Brews with Babes."
I did not.
Not a fan. I'm also not a fan of that fresh fruit.
Take a secondary swig just to make sure.
And a third.
The follow up.
I had a
Follow it.
third. Not only did I try it at 450 North and not like it, I later that day went over to Nick's, recorded an episode of Brews with Dudes, and didn't like it there either.
Did you
Go
like
figure.
it less the second time?
It just existed the second time, and I already had preconceived notions from trying it before.
Biased opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was no changing it.
This
I at least tried.
This has how do I want to say it?
That middle is so fucking blueberry weird.
Well, it's not. It's the aftertaste. Like.
All I get is the hops as an aftertaste. I get the blueberry right now. Here you go.
I'll give it another
I'm
go.
getting nothing but blueberry in my mouth.
See, I get blueberry in the middle. I get nothing but hops afterward.
It's got a nice. It's got an okay scent.
I don't dig this. I brought this up when we were standing in line at 450. I do not think
No.
that
No.
blueberry is something that you should try and push beer wise. I love blueberry wine. I will fucking smash a bottle of blueberry wine right now. But I do not like blueberry pie. I don't like blueberry cake. Blueberry muffins are great, but that's not real blueberry. That's artificial taste.
Mhm.
So, blueberries are just not meant to go with beer. And between Wild Blue and now the fresh fruit, I can confirm that.
I was really excited for this one. I had mixed
surprised.
feelings. But surprise was not surprised. Excitement was one of those feelings because I loved the fresh fruit pineapple that we had.
That one was so good.
We had that at the 450 North
The
Tap
one
Takeover.
What was his name? I forgot.
McKinley.
The one that McKinley brought by, the rep brought by and let us all try. That was the fresh fruit pineapple.
Oh, yeah.
That was
that was
excellent.
really
I
good.
fucking dug that one.
That was excellent. I loved it.
I
They
was
had.
a little bit biased because pineapple's my favorite fruit, but
They had. I feel like there was another fresh fruit before that, but I never got to try it.
you know what I would really dig if they continue this fresh fruit thing? Peach.
Yes. I don't like peach.
I have no opinion on peach, so
love
I will give it a
peaches,
go.
man. I think if they did it as well, or if they do it as well as they did the pineapple one, it would be fucking killer. Because I fucking love peaches.
So, for those watching or listening, we challenge you: find a blueberry style type of brew, be it beer, hard cider, whatever. Find something with blueberry in it and tell us if you like it. And we're not going to try it. Travis
I'll
might.
try it.
Travis
I'll try it.
Travis will be our guinea pig. Before we really get going with anything else, we debuted our new intro today.
Yeah, we did. What'd you think of that, Tyler?
I really dug it, man.
I put that together about an hour before you got here.
That's all 30%, man. That's what I expect.
Yeah. I actually tried because Colby, the person who made the instrumental for it, he actually gave me like all the stems, so I have each individual instrument. For the drums, I have each individual piece of the drum set, so I can mix it.
Are they actual drums or is it a drum machine?
I think he programmed them, but I still get everything individually. I tried to mix it myself and come up with a new mix. I don't have the patience for that currently, so I just...
And, 30%.
Yeah, there's that. There's always the 30%. But it's just... I just went ahead and went with the original instrumental that he mixed. And
I
which,
just like that I'm a part of it now.
Yeah. Well, we went so long. You've been on the show for so long, and the intro stayed the same. It's like, join me, Dick, on a podcast about about movies, music, and everything stuff with a taste of metal. And since probably episode 3, we haven't even really music and movies hasn't even been, or in television hasn't even been like a core subject. We just talk about shit. Here on Podcastrophe, we talk about shit.
We've talked about
I mean, no, we do talk about it, but it's not the focus.
Yeah.
Like the intro suggested, I would say.
The way that I view our podcast, we are an ancient sailing vessel on the high seas with the winds in our sails, just going whatever direction it may push us. We have no course plotted. We have no compass on the ship. We just go.
I'm getting vibes of what the title of this episode should be.
Butt pirates?
No. I was originally thinking We Are a Vessel, but then I'm trying to find a way to mix heritage in there. The heritage.
The SS Heritage?
SS Heritage.
Vessel of Freedom?
All right, we got some comments from Alex.
Oh,
I have had a blueberry beer before. It was okay. Then your cousin Brittany says, I don't think blueberry and beer should be a mix, but as a wine, yes.
I totally agree, Brittany. Blueberry wine is the shit.
Your wife just called you a Moana.
Make my fish.
Don't do that. We just started. It's going to be a while.
It'll be cold.
But no, so we had that intro, the original intro for, I don't know, you've been on this show for what, 20 episodes now? As a co-host?
I don't remember what my debut episode was.
If Nate Phillips, the Podfather, or now the Pod Daddy, is in the chat.
I fucking hate... Why did our generation have to fucking start that?
I think it's hilarious. Weird. It's weird as fuck, and I love it. But, yeah, if you're in there, find Tyler's debut episode as co-host. I know your debut episode. It was like episode 12. But
yeah, that's right, because Richard was episode 11, and then I came the next week.
So...
And then I appeared on the show.
Fired his ass.
Episodes and and episodes. We've had the same intro, not saying anything about you being a co-host.
I'm the sleeper.
And I've had an issue with that, you've always gone and said, hey, it's your show, man. No, it's not just my show. It's our show.
Our motherfucking show.
Yeah. So, yeah.
You're the wind beneath my wings.
So I finally rectified that.
I have a guy at work that sings that all the time, dude.
Kind of like we talked about on Voice of Survival when we were singing fucking Kiss from a Rose.
Yeah.
My father-in-law.
Oh my god. It's good times, man.
Yeah, it was.
That'll live on forever.
But so I mentioned Pod Daddy, and that came on. That was first brought to life. That name was first brought to life on last week's episode of Journey into Comics, at which point I hosted with Mr. Nick Maxon, and we had a special guest, and he's been on several Brews with Dudes. For those who couldn't tell who it was Mr. Austin Hill playing a character. And Tyler, let's hear it, man.
I could not listen to the episode. This is no disrespect to you or to Nick or even Austin.
Yeah.
Because I like Austin. I like all you guys.
It was a hard episode.
But god fucking damn it, man. I appreciate the character. It was funny for like the first 5 minutes, and when you said grapploids, I about lost my shit. But I was also mad at the same time because I love Tremors. It's one of my all-time favorite movie franchises. and then you just kept going. And Nick would try and talk, and then Austin would interrupt, and then you would try and talk before Nick got a chance to talk, and then he would interrupt you, and then Nick would try and talk, and he would actually interrupt Austin, interrupting you, interrupting Nick. It was a conundrum of fucks, and I could not handle it.
Yeah, it was as I said in our group chat, it was the most trying podcast I've ever tried to record. Like, I thought it was funny at first, and then it became overwhelming, and I could see it in Nick's eyes. He was like, "What did we get into?"
There's no reason that should have been more difficult to do than drunk catastrophe.
And it was.
And it had to have fucking been.
It was. It was very. I mean, eventually we finally got into some like hardcore Star Wars talk, and it just, I don't know. It was still hard, but like we finally got Austin's character
to
simmer down, and actually, I mean, he's still interrupted. But that's the thing. That's their gimmick with Nick, is he gets interrupted on his show.
I get it. I understand.
So we were trying to take that to an extreme because it was Fool's Week.
Right, I get it. I accept it.
But yeah, it was a very, very difficult podcast to record. Yeah.
So, harken back to our trip to 450 this past week.
Which we're gonna get into the actual trip.
Right. I didn't buy a whole lot. I bought 3-4 packs.
I bought one of each.
I didn't, like I said, I didn't buy the fresh fruit because I knew it wasn't gonna be good.
I should have
Because I'm a
not.
genius.
I should have bought 2 platinum nuggets instead of one of each. And
I thought you didn't like the platinum nuggets.
it's not my favorite, but I like
It's
it.
the Galaxy hops that you don't like, right?
Probably. Yeah. I mean, I know I don't like Galaxy Hops because I've had Galaxy Hero, and I did not like that.
I can't remember if that's the one you gave me or not, that I still have in my refrigerator at home. But anyway, back to the actual point of me speaking. I really dig these fucking platinum nuggets, and it just goes to show, you know, like I said earlier, I have not disliked anything from the Nugget series. I don't know why they just don't make more of all of it.
If we could just get the powdered nuggets.
Or the golden nuggets. I would be okay with
I don't
either
even.
one of them.
I don't remember the golden nuggets.
Oh, I did. They were
I don't
fucking
remember
good.
them.
It was seriously, when you took a sip at first, you got, it was weird. You got for me anyway, you got the beer flavor up front, and then like during swallowing and after, the aftertaste came in, and it was like you took a handful of Golden Puffs, just a dabble of milk, and threw them in your mouth and held them in your mouth like a chipmunk, and then swallowed it. I mean, it was pure. It was literally like drinking Golden Puffs, and it was fucking good. It's like that milkshake that I had at fucking Steak and Shake that one night.
Ah, yes.
It was fucking good, man. So.
Yeah, so if you couldn't tell, we went down to 450 North in Columbus, Indiana, middle of nowhere, Columbus, Indiana, and we went for a special beer release from 450 North. They re-released the cookies and cream nuggets. They released the blueberry fresh fruit, the platinum nuggets, and a new Slurpee, raspberry passion fruit.
So Weiss beer style from Germany.
Mm-hmm. And I wasn't too big a fan of their first Slurpee, which I think was like blackberry mango or something.
I never tried that one.
It was very, very. I mean, this one, they're both very, very tart, but this one I liked a lot more.
Yeah, I like this one especially because, you know, it's a Weiss beer, which I've drank a lot. For you heritage folks, it's a Weiss beer. But in Germany, that's what kids drink, man. The alcohol content's turned down a little bit, but the flavor's the same. They're all kinds of crazy colors, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
Andy, we'll get you on here. You didn't get forgotten about for an invite. I know Travis is going out of town this weekend, so I had to get him on here.
But yeah, so we go down there. They were releasing all those beers. We wake up. It's our day off.
Yeah, we had Good Friday off.
We don't normally have Friday off, which is normally why we can't make these releases. They're always on Friday. And so I get up at I was supposed to get up at 6.
I woke up at 5:30.
I woke up at that time as well, but I went back to sleep. And I had an alarm set for 6, but I slept through it. Luckily, my girlfriend Miranda hit me up and woke me up at 6:20. I threw on some pants and we took off. We met a couple people down at Meyer. Casey from Jerry Lee's Pub. Shout out to you, dude. He met us at Meyer. I thought we were all meeting there, but turns out that wasn't the case.
The idiots that
Yeah.
showed up at Meyer.
So we take off. It's now about 10 till 7. We take off. At some point down the road, I pass Casey, and he is never to be seen again.
I don't know if anyone ever found him.
But we
Unfortunately, he got sick.
Yeah.
He had to turn around.
yeah, they got sick about halfway down, I guess, or some way down the road. But
Which sucks, because then you got to turn around and drive back
yes,
while you're sick.
yes. Luckily, he had his wife with him. So,
Right.
but yeah, so we get down there, and we're the first ones there out of our group because Nick and all them, they had to go pick up Mr. Chris Charles from the band Bizarre Noir,
And Nick forgot his wallet.
and Nick forgot his wallet.
That's something you don't do when you're going to a beer release. You don't
Yeah,
forget your wallet.
yeah. But so we get there, and it's cold as shit. There's already an there's like maybe 15, 20 people in line.
I would say there was like 12 people in line.
Okay, we get there rather early for the line, and immediately they're all having fun, they're enjoying themselves. One guy walks up to us, and he's got a bottle of 3 Floyd's Dark Lord, which is a very exclusive beer. You can only get it at their Dark Lord event every year.
And he's like, hey, you guys got tasters? And we're like, no. Well, there's styrofoam cups over there for coffee. Go grab some. So you bebopped over there and grabbed us some styrofoam real
Yep.
quick. I actually really dug the Dark Lord.
It was I didn't like it because it's a stout,
I dug it.
but it was extremely smooth.
You would have liked it.
It was very smooth. Do you want to know how much Dark Lord tickets are this year?
They're $180.
Yes.
Right?
They're $180.
But the whole thing with Dark Lord release though is it's almost like a festival.
It
At this
is.
point now, right?
It is because they have tons of live bands come and play. Like Mastodon played it.
Yeah, it's not just local
Yeah.
bands that nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah.
Mastodon fucking played it.
And so like they'll release this beer once a year. They used to not give you as many. You would you'd get like maybe 1 or 2 bottles. Now it's like you get a 4-pack of the bottles.
Oh, really? They
And
give you 4 bombers?
yeah.
God damn.
Not. Yeah, they're bombers. Okay. So he's just going around just pouring Dark Lord for everybody.
He hit the whole fucking line, man.
Yeah. And eventually they got to a point where they were like, hey, we're handing out wristbands. So we kind of lined up a different way.
We literally, okay, so we were like 15th in line.
Yeah.
We took the line that we had established already, and they just pivoted it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were in the same place in line, but they made us move for no reason. So I was a little bit perturbed at that, especially because it was early in the morning, and we were freezing fucking cold.
It was pretty miserable. That was a long-ass drive, too.
Yeah, like an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah. It seemed so much longer.
Mm-hmm. Well, the drive is so boring.
Yeah.
You know, it's just straight down 65 until you hit 31, and then it's like, we're in the middle of fucking nowhere now.
Yep.
It's actually at the 450 North. It's actually at the Simmons Winery, which I did not know.
Oh, so you already knew about the Simmons.
I knew about the Simmons
Okay.
Winery. I didn't know about the.
Well, that was their first endeavor into alcohol,
Mhm.
because the person who bought the farm, I think this is going off of memory from McKinley's 450 North Beer School, but the person who bought the farm, he decided he was going to start growing grapes, and those didn't really quite sell well at the farmer's market. So he's like, well, I have all these grapes, I'm going to make some wine.
I would love to have a winery. Think about how relaxing of a job that would be. Obviously, it's stressful like everything else.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
So we were supposed to have Richard come down with us, our guest Rollo, frequent guest. He was supposed to come down. He was really excited to go, and then I sent a picture of the allotments and how much each costs, how much a 4-pack of each costs.
Mm-hmm.
I sent it to you and him, after also reminding him, hey, be here at this time
Yep.
or we are leaving. We don't give a fuck.
And he's like, hey, can I sleep on the way down?
Yeah, like,
Sure, dude.
yeah, okay, cool, whatever. So he sees this picture and he's like, well, that's a little too expensive for my wallet. But I'll still go. I just won't buy any. You're just gonna have to enjoy my company. I was like, we don't care, whatever.
Yeah.
You could somebody else could give you money and you buy it for them.
I didn't even. My whole goal was not to go down there and buy a bunch of beer anyway. I just wanted to go check the place out because
Yeah.
I enjoyed their beer so much, and then especially with like McKinley being such an awesome. You know, when I think of a product rep for a lot of the companies that I've,
Mhm.
you know, especially small like startup companies, they're always fucking douchey ass people, or they're not very well educated on what they're trying to sell, or you know, just in general. And
We haven't really been recording you this whole time.
God damn it!
That's gonna be awesome.
Can
So hopefully one of the other mics will pick you
I
up.
was gonna say, can you take the audio from the live stream?
No.
That sucks.
So yeah,
Womp womp.
30 minutes in, people are finally gonna hear you.
Hey, people!
Oh well, that's just how podcasting goes sometimes. Yeah. So yeah, I wasn't planning on buying a fuck ton of beer either.
Yeah, I just wanted to go check the place out.
Yeah. Man. Oh, Nate, love from the Podfather. Hey, Pod Daddy.
I haven't been recording for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I just started noticing there was like no waveform where you were at.
There they are.
Now they're there, but
Hey.
so Richard says, I'm not going to buy any beer. I'm just going to go down with you guys. And it's okay, whatever. And then he says, then literally morning of, hey, not going to be able to come. I got my wife and my daughter are sick. And part of me kind of just doesn't. A pod fail. Whap, whap.
Is there even waveform now? It still looks
Yeah,
like
there
a
is.
dead line to me.
Let's see that.
Oh, I thought I was the bottom one.
Oh, no.
Am I the bottom one? Because, yeah.
Yep, there you are.
There it is.
You're popping
hey, there's some waveforms.
Yeah, Andy, you heard Tyler because all the live stream audio is coming from the webcam, while what we're recording for the audio version is not.
Yes.
And I forgot what happened was I forgot to turn on the phantom power, and Tyler's mic requires phantom power.
Yep. Womp womp.
So,
Yep. Bing bong.
hopefully between our two mics, they'll pick you up enough.
That you can just boost the hell out of it.
We'll see. We'll see.
Hey there.
Hey.
It was kind of a relief that Richard didn't come.
Yeah.
Because I know, especially with him like not getting anything, he would have been bored.
And that big line of people,
Oh yeah,
he would have been like, pay attention to me, pay attention to
Yep,
me.
exactly.
You guys sit there and eat that pizza, and he's just like, hey, you can finish that? Hey, are you done with that breadstick as you're sticking it in your mouth?
It's literally in my
Yeah.
mouth and I'm chewing it.
No, I'm not done with it. You want me to feed you like a
Oh,
bird?
shit.
Yeah, he would have been like, he would have just been like striving for attention
And chain vaping.
and chain vaping, and he would have just it just would have been so super annoying. You and I,
cool tricks?
No.
not really no.
Other than
he can
being dumb.
Just
He
blow
can-
in your face. Is that his trick?
oh vape tricks.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant just in general because like he can pull up every show he's on, he pulls up that guitar and just makes up a song right on the spot.
He's very good at improv.
Right on.
Yeah,
But
very hilarious guy.
yeah, I was just really glad in general that we got to go check it out and we had a
Yeah.
good time. Even though we froze our fucking dicks off, we had a really good time. It was our day off work, so
Hell yeah.
it was like kind of Ferris Bueller's style, you know.
Without the Ferrari.
Right. Without unfortunately without the Ferrari
Yeah.
and the nice weather. But yeah, I definitely, you know, my wife and I are already talking about making a trip down there because she wants to check out the winery.
Yeah, hit me up. Let me know. Me and Miranda will come down.
Absolutely. I figured this giant man next to me would also want to go. I have never seen your cat that relaxed.
It's 'cause
Don't
I'm
fucking,
here.
don't worry. Don't,
I'm like the
don't bother him.
Animal whisperer.
He just flicked his tail at you like, leave me the fuck alone.
He'll do this.
You're pissing him off.
So
tail twitch like.
I
My
know
cat does
you guys
parkour.
talk about like
Dicks?
comics and
Porn?
but dicks and shit. But like comics and especially the last podcast I was watching, you guys were talking about Infinity War and all that shit coming
Lots
up.
of theories.
So, have both of you guys watched Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood?
No.
Nope.
No. Well,
I'm not
never
big on
mind.
anime and stuff.
You're not into anime at all?
Not really.
Okay. Not even, what about Studio Ghibli stuff? The old Hayao Miyazaki?
That is
Spirited
that is-
Away?
I know that. Okay, you finally said something I recognize.
That's
but I
Hayao
haven't-
Miyazaki. That's
I haven't
Studio
watched it.
Ghibli. Yeah, that's good stuff.
You
I
haven't
know
watched like
T-Max,
yeah, I'm big into
big in the Hayao.
but you haven't watched like Kiki's Delivery Service or
That's another name I recognize, but I haven't seen it.
Howl's Moving Castle,
Again,
That's
I
a great
recognize-
one.
I recognize all these names.
Tales
except-
from Earthsea.
I don't know that one.
Did you
Akira?
ever watch Tales from Earthsea?
Akira.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen that, but I recognize
That's
it.
the very
Akira's
first
great.
anime that I ever watched, and
Okay.
that's what turned me on to animes in general. Because
I think I still have all your movies.
I think you do. Akira, it's old too. The original copy of Akira that I bought was on VHS.
It came out in like '84 or something like that.
I mean, it's super old. And the great thing about anime and what really turned me on to it was, you know, you grow up, you watch cartoons, Inspector Gadget, and that was one of my favorite cartoons when I was growing up. It was way before your
Yeah,
time.
well,
I
no.
mean, you know what it is,
I've
but
seen old Inspector Gadget. I
Right.
liked it. It was
So,
actually a
like,
well done
every day
cartoon.
I ran home from school, that's what I watched. Like right when I got home, it was on. So, you know, it's all Nickelodeon, Disney, you know, everything's all unicorns and rainbows and happy endings and shit. And then enter Akira. So I'm like, all right, I've heard a lot of good things about this movie. I'll check it out. So we watched it, and the opening scenes of it, and the synopsis basically is at the beginning there's two rival like biker gangs. You don't really know which one's good, which one's bad. They're biker gangs, so I guess in society's eyes they're both bad because they just go around and they pretty much fight each other all the time, and they destroy shit in the process. So the two main characters is Tetsuo and Kaneda. Tetsuo is the main the protagonist, I guess, and Tetsuo's like the older brother kind of, big brother kind of guy that's always looking out for Tetsuo, and they're getting in this whole biker war thing, and the other the biker gang's called the Clowns.
Okay.
So
Very
Kaneda,
Juggalo-esque.
he's younger. He's maybe 14, 15, and he can ride a bike, and the older brother guy has like this super deluxe, like very, what's the word?
It's very exotic.
Very exotic, and everything is like tailored to him. It's custom made. It's got hyperdrive engines and all this other stuff. He's like, hey man, come on, let me drive it. He's like, dude, get the hell out of here. You can't handle this bike or whatever. So the Clowns come in. They say, hey, let's ride. We got to take care of this shit. They get out on the highway. And so I'm like, okay, cool. A biker war fight. I want to check this shit out. So, I mean, there's within the first 5 minutes, there's already like people getting beat the shit out of. There's blood.
It's very graphic.
It's
for
very
anime.
graphic for 1984, and an anime on top of that. When you're used to watching Disney and Nickelodeon cartoons, and the thing that really, it was like that moment. It's just like, dude, I love this already. It was in the first 10 minutes. The biker gangs were chasing each other down this highway, and one guy kind of veers off onto an off ramp, and the younger boy chases after him. Everybody else just keeps going, so it's just a one-on-one thing. They're driving through alleys and everything, and the clown guy is kind of looking behind him, and he's throwing shit, like basically Molotov cocktails. He's throwing them behind him, and he turns back around, and there's like a dumpster that's kind of been pushed out in the road a little bit. So he kind of tries to swerve out of the way. It's going so fast that he clips it. He rolls and stuff, basically is destroyed, and he's kind of like trying to get up, and that young boy comes by with a fucking pipe, going, God knows how fast he was going. It looks like he's going like at least 100 miles an hour. Just drives by him right in the fucking face.
Hits him in the
with a
fucking head with that lead pipe.
That's
And I was like, boom, I love it. I'm gonna sit, dude. This is already my favorite anime I've ever seen in my life.
The movie gets very like,
Yes.
like Inception type level, mind blown type thing. But it's very good, especially for the time period. Akira opened the door, and they didn't just open the door; it kicked the fucking door down. And it's like, look, America, this is really fucking cool shit. Check this out. And then, that set the precedent for Studio Ghibli and all the other great anime. Not just the TV series, but movies and the mangas and stuff like that. It fucking kicked the door down and gave it to everybody.
hell yeah.
And the Studio Ghibli things are more, I wouldn't say like kid friendly, but it's a lot more happy endings and kind of.
Well,
it's not death and destruction and fucking shit up all the time. It is like they have their Disney, they have their Nickelodeon, they have their Spike Channel, and just ultra not real well hentai. They got that too, but.
Dick's Bukaki
They got
Palooza.
like, their HBO kind of shit, and it's the different genres, I guess, if you want to call it that. And the thing that Akira did, like you said, kind of opened the door and allowed the American public to kind of get into it, so they could broaden their base, their horizon, and their fan base, and get more people to buy into it. That's why, especially like Disney bought Studio Ghibli 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay.
And Hayao Miyazaki, I was telling you, he's a very, very famous director in Japan. He was, Spirited Away, Kiki's Delivery Service,
Howl's Moving Castle.
Great movie.
Tales from Mercy.
Tales from Mercy, and a bunch of other ones that was his, that he directed and everything. And he did his last picture just, I want to say maybe 2 years ago now, and I don't even remember, Where the Wind Blows or something like that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
I have it.
I've kind of been waiting on it.
It's not bad, but every movie that you watch from Studio Ghibli, all the characters are drawn the same. They all have the same facial features, the same eyes, the same voice styles. One of my other favorite Miyazaki movies was Castle in the Sky. Cloris Leachman was one of the main voice actors in that, and what the hell's that guy's name from Dawson's Creek?
Vanderbeek?
What?
James Vanderbeek?
Yeah, James Vanderbeek was the main male role, so they used like A-list voice actors to do these roles for Studio Ghibli stuff. And I mean, you if you heard Cloris Leachman, you would know right away who it was. But like James Vanderbeek, when he was a kid, you would have never known.
Yeah.
Hey, that's Dawson. No, because you wouldn't know that. Or shit. What's the? We've watched it together. God damn it, I can't think of it. The name of the other.
My favorite one? Are you talking about another movie?
Yeah.
Princess Mononoke?
Yes, thank you.
That's my favorite.
Yes, that
Studio
is
another
Ghibli.
one.
Great movie.
The awesome thing about the Studio Ghibli stuff is not just the content itself, but when you watch it as a child or a teenager, you see certain themes and you fall in love with certain characters. And then, especially with the majority of the movies, the themes are so powerful, and there's a lot of them that are geared towards themes about family and friendship. And then, there might be another couple movies that's all about nature and preserving the earth. And there's so many different themes that go down. But as you become an adult and have those family ties and you look at the themes different, and then you appreciate the movie so much more. I saw Akira later on down the road. That was probably the fourth or fifth movie type like that I had seen, but Princess Mononoke was the first major anime movie that I ever saw, and it just happened to be a Studio Ghibli film. I picked it up at Hollywood Video, rented it for like $1 rental special or something, just because, you know, like we talked about a couple episodes ago, people today don't fucking appreciate the fact that you used to have to go to the movie store on Friday night.
Yep.
Blockbuster.
I was a big Hollywood Video guy.
Video Express.
Yep.
Yep.
Or a Video Update
Before
here
the-
in Lafayette. That
Video
place fucking
Update.
sucked,
Video
man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or Amazing Video on 350. That was a good one for a while. But
Yeah, I forgot about Amazing Video. Do you remember Suncoast Video at the mall?
yeah.
I got so many Godzilla films from there.
Oh, I did too.
Hell yeah.
But so, I was running through the store and they didn't have a movie that I wanted to watch, so I just grabbed it because the box art looked cool, and then I fucking fell in love with that movie. So
That's awesome. So Travis, I noticed you finished your blueberry,
I did.
and
Well, it's empty. I mean,
it is.
That
So
should be.
but we don't waste beer in this house.
I actually have someone hitting me up to sell it on Instagram right now, but if you want it, it's yours.
I'll take it.
All right. I did mention, I was like,
$700.
Wait, what's his current offer?
there is no offer.
Okay.
There's-
He just said, I will take it.
They just said, "Are you selling?" I'm like, "Well, there's 3 left, and they might be spoken for." So they're spoken for.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Before we go into another topic, my good man Andy Fitzgerald asks us what we think about Sea of Thieves.
I'll go first.
Okay.
To me, one, I didn't know much about. I had heard nothing about Sea of Thieves before it came out, because I also haven't really been paying attention to video games and all that. I've been
Jacking off.
jacking off and like
Jacking off.
hard into fucking Monster Hunter, blowing
Between
my load,
naps.
blowing my load all over that Monster Hunter world.
We've both put over 150 hours in the game.
I'm
this
at
point.
155 right now, 164.
You can drink the rest of that if you want.
I could be a lot higher level, but it's whatever. But no, so I Sea of Thieves to me is, I'm gonna consider it a hype game.
Like Overwatch.
Overwatch, Fortnite,
PUBG.
I like PUBG. It's fun.
I'm not saying they're bad games. They're just not for me. I'm not into the battle royale.
I'm not
I know Sea of Trees isn't a battle royale.
Sea of
style
Trees.
game. Sea of Trees. That's a band that I like.
Good God, Blaine.
Ryan Strain, the guy who does the Rico, the subliminal stuff. That's his other band, Sea of Trees.
That's right. That's right.
But Sea of Thieves, corrected. You're welcome. Dexter's just staring at the door.
He's staring at the cable.
Oh. But Sea of Thieves, I know it's not a battle royale style game. It's more of an RPG, but one, I'm not in the animation style. And two, it seems like a hype game that's going to die off in another month.
For Honor? For Honor?
See, that pissed me off because I had really high expectations for For Honor.
I did too.
I played it longer than anybody.
You did.
But as far as Sea of Thieves goes, I have not played it yet. I know a lot of my friends' group, you, Big Andy, have played it a lot.
And Little Andy.
And Little Andy and Frank Carrillo, shout out to you if you're watching. I know you fucking played it more than anybody. But I compare personally, and this is the big comparison on the internet right now, is Sea of Thieves to No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky was super fucking hyped before it released. I bought it on release day.
Apparently it's playable now.
I tried it again. It's still not.
How recently?
Like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
It's still not really any different. But
Okay.
so it's the same. I don't know. It's the same kind of thing. Yes, you get to play. You get to do pirate shit with your friends. But if I'm playing a pirate game, number one, I don't want to play in first person. I want to play in third person. I want to see my motherfucking pirate that I create. Number two, I want to actually do meaningful things. Yes, I'm sailing. That's badass. I can do that in Black Flag and have more fun. Yes, I
Yeah.
can go hunt treasure. I can do that in Black Flag and have more fun. I like what you said, the art style. Shout out to you, Rare, for trying something that is kind of bold, and that's your expression, but that fucking art looks stupid. It looks like bad Cartoon Network shit.
Yes.
And then all of the upgrades in the game, everything that you buy in the game is cosmetic.
Great. So
that's the same kind of. I mean, yes, I appreciate the fact that it doesn't have loot boxes, like you're not paying to win type shit. But actually, give me a reason to devote my time to it.
Yeah. Speaking of pirate games, do you know Bethesda? I'm pretty sure Bethesda did it, but the original Pirates of the Caribbean video game for Xbox,
Yeah.
OG Xbox.
What about it?
That was like a first person. It was like Elder Scrolls, but Pirates of the Caribbean. I enjoyed it a lot. I traded. I loaded my ship up with trading goods, and I sailed from port to port, trading said goods.
What do you think about Sea of Thieves, Travis? Have you played it yet?
I have not played it. I've been very timid on buying it. I know little Andy offered to give me $10 to get the Game Pass because it's free for Game Pass. He said he'd pay for a month for me so I'd play. I'm not interested. You know, it's just I don't know what it is. I'm very involved with Monster Hunter, as with a lot of people are right now. Playing that, and honestly, I am looking forward to May when Dark Souls Remaster comes out.
Sorry, Blaine. When May gets here, you won't see me on PlayStation for a solid month.
That's all right. God of War comes out this month, and
I'll be done with God of War by the time Dark Souls comes out.
I might be. I don't know.
I've been thinking about busting out a new Dark Souls 1 character just to kind of have something to do in between time. I never played a pure Pyromancer on Dark Souls 1, nor have I ever played the DLC, which is what I'm most looking forward to.
You're gonna like that when we get there.
The what is it? The Abyss of Artorias?
Artorias of the Abyss.
No, I had it backwards. So,
but Andy, I don't disagree. Andy says that's the point. It brings back the old style of play. Though I do not disagree with you, I cannot argue one way or another, obviously, because I have not played the game. I have only seen what especially people are playing on YouTube. I do not like game. Okay, so I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna spend $60 on that game, and you are buying an empty product. The only thing you are getting is the camaraderie between you and your friends, and that is great, and I'm not saying there's anything bad with that, but when I spend $60 on a game, especially now, I want to get what I pay for. And Monster Hunter, I bought on opening night. I was in line with this dude right here, and I've put 150 hours plus into that game, and I still have shit to do, and everything I am doing is fulfilling, and nothing is cosmetic, and the art style is beautiful. So I, in good conscience, cannot say that Sea of Thieves is worth $60 when Monster Hunter is worth 10 times that.
I'm over 100 hours in it, and I didn't even want to buy it to begin with.
I know. As soon as before I started working at Subaru, or before you and I really started hanging out, I told him and Andy both, little Andy, that, hey, the new Monster Hunter's coming out. You guys really need to get in on this. It's kind of like Dark Souls. And Andy is like, yeah, that cool. And old man over here is like, no.
Yeah, I'm old.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
And then as it got closer and closer and closer, Andy was really excited. He was still no. And then
But Rocket League.
Never played it. Never will. Andy here says, most games nowadays are an empty product. Monster Hunter is an exception. That's why I don't play many games, and unless they have like a title already attached to them, like God of War.
And
that's a pretty good game.
Don't get me wrong, Andy. I'm not trying to argue with you here.
Sounds like you are.
Well, I'm not. I'm making my point on why I don't like Sea of Thieves, and I haven't even played it. I don't disagree with you that most games today are empty. In the total grand scheme of things, but I spent $60 on, or actually spent a lot more than $60 for the collector's edition of Mass Effect Andromeda last year. that was a game that reviewed very poorly and killed my favorite gaming franchise of all time.
Yeah.
That game was not fucking empty. It was worth every fucking penny I spent on it. So, though I agree with what you're saying, I'm also disagreeing with what you're saying because everything doesn't need to be multiplayer. If Sea of Thieves actually had an engaging story and stuff that wasn't empty, I would be, I would be more interested because I love the pirate shit. That's why everybody loved Black Flag so much.
Yeah, no one gave a shit about the Assassins part of it.
No, it wasn't an Assassin's Creed game. It was a pirate game.
It was straight up a pirate game.
So, I mean, I hate to argue with you about it, but it's not for me, man. I don't. What? And even if the game was really engaging and had a lot of shit to do that was worthwhile and fulfilling, I don't dig the art style, and I don't want to play a first-person pirate game. So, that's not what I'm about.
Nope.
Baxter, stop biting him.
It's fine.
He bites him and then he licks him.
Yep.
Bites him and then licks him.
I've had cats before. This is normal cat behavior.
Did
I
they all-
hate you. I love you.
Did they all die in the winds? Did they all die in the winds? I love your comment, Andy. Agree to disagree to disagree.
Lots of chickens. Lots of coops.
Lots
No
of coops,
chickens.
Lots of coops, no chickens. They all died in the winds last summer. You've seen Chaw, right? You've been watching the streams and seen Chaw?
Well, guess what? Post show, we're watching.
Are you
it.
fucking serious?
Are you? Those in the live? We're watching Chaw again at the end of this.
Yee.
Tune in.
Good God.
I love that we can have a pre-show and a post-show.
I do too.
Was the pre-show the 30 minutes that we didn't record?
Oh God.
Oh,
No, it was recording. It was recording the whole time, just not Tyler.
Just not me.
Okay. Well, that doesn't really.
I'm
bring the
really
value
looking
down
forward
much.
to what magic you can do with this.
I'm not gonna be able to do anything with it.
Well, I'm saying if
See, if I'm not gonna be able to work any magic on that because anything I turn up on mine or his is just gonna crank our own voices up when they appear.
can't you do it intermittently though? Like turn it up for a certain section of the clip and then turn it back down.
I'll see what I can.
You're
do.
talking like CSI shit, man. Like
You're also talking to someone who puts forth 30% of effort.
30%.
You put more than 30% towards this podcast.
35 at least.
Fuck out of my life,
Get the fuck out of my life, cow! Make my fish. Anyway,
So do you have any comments about Dark Souls? Did you ever get into
never
any of
played
that?
I've been trying to get him into it.
Do you have any desire to play it?
Not really.
Okay.
Too difficult.
See, but it's not even
okay,
difficult.
so little Andy, which we're going to clear up here. Andy Fitzgerald is Big Andy for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
He's a fucking giant.
In a good way, though.
And yeah, in a good. Hey, I don't mean that in a bad way. We're friends. And Andy Dietrich is little Andy. So little Andy, he was in my class in the apprenticeship for the electrician deal. After I think it was probably second year of class, when we started to really get to know each other and stuff, found out that we both kind of play video games and shit. So he's like, "Hey, have you ever played Dark Souls?" I was like, no, not really. You know, I've heard a bunch about it, but I've never really, got into it because I didn't have, I don't want to say I didn't have friends, but I didn't have a lot of friends online that played that game. So he's like, "Hey, I have an extra copy on PS3. We both had PS3s at the time." He's like, "I'll give you a copy and I'll run you through it and we play it together."
Okay.
So next time at class, he brings it to me. He's like, "Go ahead and get started so you can kind of get the feel for the controls and, how stuff works. And then we'll get going after that because you have to get like through the first, starter
The
point,
tutorial area.
the tutorial basically area before you can even
Cooperate.
co-op." So, I make my guy, I get a run through, do the tutorial thing. I'm like, this isn't so bad. The graphics are, I wouldn't say like the greatest, but they work for what it is. It's perfect for the setting. It's perfect for the story.
One at the time that game came out in 2010 or 2009. It's my second favorite gaming franchise of all time, and I can't remember when the game came out, but 2009 or 2010 when it came out, they were very good for the time.
Right.
So,
But anyway,
I just wanted to interject.
I digress. So I get through finally. Basically, if you've ever seen any of the memes for Dark Souls, it's like, you know, the
Get
tutorial is basically, okay, here's a sword and a shield, and I'll go beat the fuck out of this really big boss. You know, here's how you swing your sword, here's how you use your shield, and here's how you roll. Good luck.
Yeah.
So I struggle. I'm old, so I'm stubborn. So I do the same thing over and over again. Just trying. I was like, okay, well maybe he'll do something different this time, and I'm just going to keep doing the same thing.
Nope.
And make
The
him change
definition of
to me.
insanity.
So I finally get past it. I get to the first area. You know, I'm getting through that area okay. And I finally get what they call the white soap zone is what you can use. You basically put a message on the ground, and people can either summon you, or they do the opposite, and you can summon people to your world. So I text Andy. I said, hey, I'm ready to do co-op. Let's do this. He's like, oh, I just sold my PS3. I bought an Xbox. I was like, wait, what? I thought you were going to like co-op with me. He's like, yeah, that's not going to happen. I was like, so what the fuck am I supposed to do now? He's like, oh, you'll figure it out. So I was like, all right. So I go through. There's no direction in this game whatsoever.
Nope.
You get to the very first place. You talk to a guy. He gives you the only instructions of the game. Ring 2 bells. There's one above, one below.
I'll be here.
All right. Yeah, I'll be here, and I'll probably be going insane at the same time as the game progresses. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm at the starting thing. So I run around checking shit out, and I see some skeletons. I'm like, okay, skeletons. They seem like low-level mobs to me. I'm pretty versed in RPG games. Let's do it. So they're out there. I'm beating the shit out of skeletons. I knock them down.
And they get back
They
up.
get back up. So I knock them down again. They
get
finally
back
die.
up.
This is a meme. This is straight up a meme because there's like, wasn't it like Skyrim? In Skyrim, oh look, skeletons. Dark Souls, oh fuck.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
So I get running down through this whole skeleton area, and I keep dying, like repeated, like I'm getting fucking gangbanged.
Did you
Hardcore.
Did you try and go to the Tomb of the Giants right out of the fucking
Yeah.
gate?
I had.
God damn it,
Yeah.
Travis.
So, okay, so this isn't the right way. Let's find something else. So it's like, oh, cool, staircase. So I find a staircase and I follow it down.
Oh, you
And-
went down.
I went to New Londo.
Oh, fuck.
So I go to New Londo, and I'm like, these guys aren't even fighting back. One hit kills at level 5 or whatever I am. Oh, sweet. This is definitely the right way to go. So I'm trucking along. I'm like, fuck these guys. They're not even fighting back. I'm
And then
like,
you see
hell
the,
yeah.
And then you see the ghosts.
Going down the bridge. Ghost comes at me. I'm like, ghost, whatever. You know, what? Swing at him. Can't hit him. What? I swing again. Can't hit him. They hit you. They hit fucking hard. 2 hits, I die.
Do you need like a silver sword or something?
You need not the purging stone. You need an item that basically you give yourself a curse to kind of put you on their spectral plane so
Okay.
you can interact with them. Which you get later in the game more often than what I think you start out you might have found like 4 at this time. They maybe last like 5 minutes, and that's 20 minutes is not enough to get through this area because there's a shit ton of them. Okay, so this isn't the fucking right way to go. So I fiddle fuck around for a little bit. I get pissed. I said, fuck this game, I ain't playing. I rage quit. Like a month goes by, Andy's like, hey man, how'd you do on Dark Souls? I was like, man, fuck that game. Dude, I went down this place, was fighting fucking skeletons.
I remember him telling me this too.
And he's like, no, dude, that's not the way to go. I was like, well, I went down here where the ghost shit bastards were beating the fuck out of me. Dude, if you turn around and go left, there's a staircase that goes up. That's where you want to go. I was like, I didn't even see that. He's like, don't go down, go up. So
Now I know.
I was like, okay. So like every once in a while, like I'd get stuck and I'd text him, hey, I'm at so-and-so. And he, when it comes to video games, especially Dark Souls, as which I'm sure you are, he's almost has an eidetic memory when it comes to that. Cause be like, hey, all right, cool. So what you want to do is you want to go down. You'll go down like 2 flights of stairs. There'll be a hallway to the right. There's going to be a box on your left. And he's doing this all from memory. He's like, break that box. There'll be a staircase underneath that box. You go down there. You jump this way. And then throw your hands up at a 47-degree angle. And there'll be a sword right there. It'll be like, and he'll name it off. He'll be like, the Sword of What the Fuck Ever. And sure enough, I go down there and it's the Sword of What the Fuck Ever. I was like, hey, dude, how do you remember? He's like, dude, I have put so many fucking hours in this game. He basically walked me through it via text whenever I got stuck. But I soloed that fucking game, and no shit, it took me, I want to say 92 hours to beat it by myself for the first time. And I started in an NG Plus game, which after you beat it with some games, you can start back over, keep your shit, and the mobs get harder. I made it 75% of the way back through the game on NG Plus in 20 hours. Wow. Because I knew where to go now. I knew what to expect, and it was just like, all right, let's do this shit. So then ever since I beat it the first time, I've loved it. Played Dark Souls 2. You never joined us on 2, which Andy and I both had 2, and we both played co-op through it together, and then Dark Souls 3 came out.
Him and I did that before you and him did that.
Right. But this is my first experience. This was, my awakening, as you will.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Can us kind folks here at Podcastrophe have your image rights?
Why? What happened?
Because I would like to put you on a T-shirt holding the Sword of What the Fuck Ever.
Oh, yeah, man. Go for it.
It's the Sword of What the Fuck Ever.
Yeah.
But he's got to be at a 47-degree angle.
47-degree angle.
Yeah.
We'll include like the actual angle measurements.
The fucking protractor.
Yeah.
Dude, go for it.
Hell
yeah.
Sweet. We'll put you in the fucking Dark Souls armor.
The great thing about Dark Souls and what really has sucked so many fans in is not the difficulty, because once you get accustomed to the game, it's not that hard. It's all about mechanics. You know what's going to happen when you do certain things, so you don't do certain things, so that doesn't happen to you. But with, especially like he said, you show up. So the first area that you get to when you're able to go wherever you want in the game is called Firelink Shrine. You show up, you talk to this random NPC, and he literally says what Travis says. You must ring 2 bells, one above, one below. And then it just turns you loose, and there is no storyline in the game that's told to you. You have to find it all for yourself.
Okay.
And a lot of the information is theory, and it's still theory, because the director of the original game, who was a consultant for the second game and then came back for the third game, he's also a Miyazaki. He garnered this cult following because he gave you just enough, just hints, every now and then. And somebody would ask him, well, is this NPC, who we supposedly think he is in the game? I don't know. What do you think? And there's so much mystery all the time. And, he put 92 hours in his first playthrough. Andy and I put 90 plus hours in our first playthrough. And then we each together went NG plus 12 times on multiple characters.
Okay.
So in theory, we beat that game 48 times.
Wow. Now let me ask, where does Demon Souls fit into all this?
So Demon Souls, the way that it all started was, I'm trying to remember. Let me look up what the original. So there was a PlayStation 1 game. There was the original game was called something Sword, and I'm trying to find it.
And while he's looking that up, I'm going to add to
go ahead.
The other thing that really drew me into Dark Souls is the replayability. It's just, what, you build your character, and the great thing about it too is that you can start out with, like, say, okay, I want to be a caster. So
I
you
wanna do
start
magic
going
and
with the
shit.
caster, and if you've ever played Bloodborne, which I know he has, very similar game styles where you collect, blood, what's the soul's equivalent in Bloodborne? They're like bloodstones.
Blood echoes.
Blood echoes. So blood echoes in Bloodborne, you got souls and Dark Souls, and you use those souls to buy level ups, and you can put points wherever you want them across stats. So if you start playing a caster and you don't like it, you can change your character. Basically, you can just start okay, well, this isn't working out. I want to go, heavy weapons and stuff. So you start pumping points and strength, and you still keep your basic level spells that you already started with. And okay, well, now I don't like this. I want to go more dex weapons and stuff. So you start putting in dex and stuff like that, and stamina and whatnot. And you can mold your character the way that you want. And then when you beat it, you can start back over and say, well, I want to try a pyromancer this time. So you start with a pyromancer and you start playing that, and just the mechanics of it are just phenomenal for a game that, getting your $60 out of a game.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, $60 time and time and time and time again.
So
you can get back out of it.
I figured out what I was trying to say.
Milkshake.
That's very, very good.
Pretty awkward milkshake.
By Brewlink. Love it. The Dreamsicle was even better. Anyway,
Yes, much.
so the Kingsfield series of games, PlayStation 1 games, inspired Demon Souls. So Namco Bandai, and
Namkai Bando.
yeah, Namco Bando, Cabbage Patch. But
That's pretty good.
Namco Bandai and the director of the Souls games, Hidetaki Miyazaki. I butchered his first name because I'm not Japanese. That's my heritage.
Domo
But
arigato.
yeah, Mr. Roboto. But so he looked at what the studio FromSoft had originally done in the 90s, and they're like, man, we can do better than this. We can be a Skyrim level of game. We can make this shit. So with FromSoft and Namco Bandai, they produced Demon Souls, which was a PlayStation exclusive. It was almost an Xbox exclusive. Yeah. Sony offered them more money. I don't know any of the more details, but Sony cornered that market. So half of the studio, after Demon Souls had so much success, half the studio was like, well, we can't do Demon Souls on Xbox, but we want to make more money. Why don't we just do the same thing and kind of change it up a little bit and make it a spiritual successor, much like Demon Souls was to the Kingsfield games. Mm-hmm. So they make Dark Souls 1, and it blows the fuck up. And then the director Miyazaki's like, well, I'm gonna take a step back. You guys have seen what I've done now with 2 games. I will be a kind of consultant and like advisor for this game. I obviously will be around. I'm not going to drive where this game is going. So Namco Bandai makes another game, and it blows the fuck up again. And overall, in the trilogy, it is probably the most popular game, because it came out right after I graduated from high school. So there was a lot of high school age kids that had heard my age group talking about how badass Dark Souls was, and they're like, well, the first one was really hard, but this one's not supposed to be as hard. And it was just as hard, but there was so many things in the game that made it accessible. People jumped in with the second one. And now all those people that got involved with the first and second one, and maybe the tail end of Demon Souls, are adults. We're all working adults now, and then they came out with the third one, which had kind of a rough development cycle. They talked about not even making it for a while, and actually canceling it after the game was half done. Miyazaki came back, finished the game. It's kind of the crown jewel of the thing, because the original Dark Souls is so great in so many ways, and then the second one improved on a lot of things, but it took a lot of stuff away from from you as the player and made things easier and kind of cheesy.
Like being able to port from
Being able to
Get-go.
teleport from area to area. Because in the original game, once you unlocked an area, you had to go do shit back in another area that you might have not been in for the last 6 hours.
Yeah.
But you actually have to travel on foot to that fucking place.
which there are shortcuts and stuff that you can open up to make it faster.
But you have to find that. You have to work for that stuff. So the second game took a lot of the work out, and then the third game was like the culmination of everything. It's, we're going to give you a little bit of teleportation. We're going to give you a little bit of foot slogging. We're going to give you all of the fantastic combat that you've had all throughout the series. The boss fights are going to be harder than ever. The story is going to be just as vague and intriguing as it normally has been. And then they finished the series, and fans were like, fuck. Because most big fans of the series are just like us, where, you know, we've beat the game fucking 48 times. You know, there's people that have done NG plus 100 plus, you know, in the 150 range. And the difficulty of the game gets exponentially harder every time. So you imagine my NG plus 12, which is extremely difficult, NG plus 150 is exponentially more difficult, you know. So after the third one, Miyazaki and the original studio that was Sony exclusive but still had the contract did Bloodborne, which was the spiritual successor to the Souls series. And it's very Lovecraftian and, you know, Cthulhu-esque type stuff, and it is great, but it changes. It's still got kind of the same play style.
That was free on PlayStation Plus last month.
Mm-hmm.
And it's PlayStation exclusive, which I found out after being extremely butthurt about it.
That's why I bought a PlayStation, man.
Yeah.
Should I have gotten it?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
you didn't
probably
download it when it was
still get
free? Good God.
I only download games that I actually know I want to play.
Same.
I didn't.
Man,
I didn't
you missed
know,
out.
I didn't know if I wanted to play it or not. I did luck out because they had MGS5, The Phantom Pain, for free, and I despite having already owned it, I went ahead and downloaded it just so I could always have it. I got a few other games on there too, but not many.
Yeah, for anybody that's on the fence about any of the Souls or Bloodborne, fucking check it out, man. Dedicate some time and get involved in it, because if you love story-based games, there's enough of it there for you. If you love action and adventure, it's there. RPG, it's one of the best RPGs of our fucking generation.
Yeah.
Because it actually is an RPG. It's not
a hack and slash.
right. Which at times though it can be.
It can be. The thing that really upset a lot of people too is when Dark Souls 3 came out, they said, that's it. We're not making a Dark Souls 4. And everybody was like, haha, you're funny. I know you will because you love money. And they stuck to it. They said, no, we're done. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's like, okay, so really, when are you guys going to make Dark Souls 4?
3 came out like what, last year or the year before?
It's been almost 2 years now.
Okay.
I think it was like August of 16.
No, I thought it was 15.
To the internet.
Yeah, to the internet.
We're going to do it.
But yeah, definitely check it out if you have time, because that's one of the games you have to devote a lot of time to.
Yeah, and you know how much time I devote to Monster Hunter.
It's your 30%.
I love Monster Hunter.
So I've got a random question to
April 2016.
All right.
So 2 years as of this month.
Yeah.
Which Little Andy and I bought the day one edition. We pre-ordered it like 3 months in advance. That's when actually the reason we had played, I bought Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin,
which was
because Dark Souls 3 was getting ready to come out, and I had never played 2. And he's like, dude, you got to get it. We're going to play through it, be done with it, do all the DLC and everything before Dark Souls 3 comes out. And we powered through it, and I had a blast.
Did you guys do all the DLC?
Mm-hmm. Because Scholar of the First Sin has all of it, so we did all of it.
Him and I only did a little bit of it. But
Which I don't know if he's still listening or not, but one of the funniest stories that I have with little Andy is in one of the DLCs for Dark Souls 2. And I'm sure it's the same way with Bloodborne. If you have all, basically your souls, your money, whatever you want to call it, your currency on you, if you die, you have one chance to go back and
Reclaim it.
To where you died. You have to go back and get your body back, basically. If you
Okay.
die again,
It's all
before
gone.
you get to it, it's all gone. And then whatever you had on your next guy before you died, that's what you get. So if you got 50,000 souls on this guy while you're trying to get to him, you might have, 2,000 or something. You die again, 50,000 goes away. Now you're trying to get your 2 back. So we were in one of the DLCs for Dark Souls 2, and it's the one, I don't know if you played this one or not, but you got to walk across these big ass like boat chains.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. It's like a boat chain. If you fall off, you die. Because there's nothing. You can't even see. It's just air. So, there's these little, like, demon things that spawn out of the ground. And you have to shove these, like, specific items into the demons to kill them. Like, you can beat the shit out of them, they won't die. You have to have the specific item to shove into them and kill them. And I died in the bottom of that because we were fighting that, and other shit from the top of the tower was coming down, and they were throwing shit at us, plus there was stuff on the ground fighting us, and I died.
It just wasn't a good time.
It was not a good time. And I had over 100,000 souls on me. I was like, dude, help me get that back. And it was like late at night, too, so we were like getting ready to go to bed. I was like, I don't want to leave that there. Please, help me get back. We'll just, as soon as I get it, we'll get out of there and we'll call it a night. So we go and we're climbing up ladders and all this, fighting all this bullshit on the way to the tower. And Andy's in front of me and he's going on the boat chain and he's kind of doing this bullshit. And it's very narrow. Like, you can kind of stand on the edge, like the, whatever you call it, not really the rendering, but the, you can kind of stand off the edge and still be on it the way the graphics look, kind of deal. Well, I was following him. I was basically like, I was running, and he stopped, and I was right there. So I hit him, and you can't walk through people. So I hit him, and it pushed me off the edge, and I fell.
Oh.
And I was like, you motherfucker. He starts laughing. I'm like, that's not funny. He's like, haha, you died. I said, no. You remember what we were trying to do? I just lost 100,000 souls because of you. And dude, I was like pissed for like 3 days. Like, I wouldn't even fucking talk to him. He's like, dude, it's just a game. You'll get him back. I was like, no, you fucking killed me. You son of a bitch. So he just brought it up the other day too. We were sitting in the cat trailer at work and he brought that up. And I instantly got fucking pissed. I was like, that is not a good thing. Don't bring that up.
This reminds me
fucking
of
hot button topic.
When I was living with my old roommate Scott, he's played like Pokemon Red and Blue like a million times. He's played Pokemon Stadium a million times. He's one of those people that just does nothing but plays games. And we were living together at Pheasant Run, and he was playing Pokemon Blue, and he had unlocked the Dodrio speed for the Pokemon Stadium Game Boy.
Mm-hmm.
So he's playing triple speed Pokemon Blue. And he was all the way to Saffron City, and I was just sitting there watching him, hanging out and all that. And I decided, I was like, I had had enough, so I walked out of the room. Well, as I was walking out of the room, I noticed his light switch was on, and I was just me being an asshole, just joking around. I was like, "Turn your fucking lights off!" And I flipped it off. His Nintendo 64 just happened to be in the outlet that switch controlled, and he had not saved the entire game. Because he was playing triple speed. He was just going through it. And he got I was like, oh shit. He just had that. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I had that like laugh in my sorry as well, because I didn't know how to respond.
Right.
He's like,
get out.
just go. just go.
Get out of here.
I'm like, dude. He's like, no. Go. I felt so bad for like the first 3 minutes, and then after that, I was like, fuck him if he's actually mad. Like, he's played that game how many fucking times? He can fuck off.
I would have been mad.
Yeah, I understand, but it's like,
Just be normal gay.
it's like, dude, how many fucking times have you played Pokemon Blue? Fuck off.
Who has Switch receptacles anymore?
My house is that way.
I changed mine.
He
Fuck that.
He had his power strip plugged into the only outlet in that room that was controlled by a switch. Yeah. His TV, his Nintendo 64, and his light all on that outlet.
I have a UPS at home that a buddy of one of our guys in our class that hooked me up with that he did a bunch of side work for some lady that owns a lot of the tanning studios here in town.
Yeah.
And he said he'll like mention something. He'll be like, "Hey, have you seen these? These are cool." And she'll just buy it. She'll buy like 12 of them. He's like, "Hey, these UPSs would be pretty badass. Buy 12."
What's a
He's
UPS?
like, "What the fuck do I need 12 of them for?" A UPS, an uninterruptible power supply.
Okay.
It's basically a battery backup.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, he gave me one. So I have my Xbox One, my TV, my router, and everything that I need just in case the power goes out that I can get somewhere and save it and not ever have that problem of light switch.
There you
Nice.
go.
That did not just fucking happen. It won't be a thing that I say because I got a UPS.
The
For
more
free.
you know.
The best price.
The best price is free.
Yes.
What was the more you know thing we were talking about before we even started? Because it was like a good more you know. Like, people need to know these things.
I don't remember.
Oh, well. Fuck them then.
So, have you guys ever... Who in this room loves pizza rolls? Okay.
Right here.
Who in this room likes to dip their pizza rolls and stuff?
No. Pizza rolls are great the way they are.
They really are.
But why not make them better?
Or worse.
I've done this a couple times.
So you
Dip
take
them in what?
you take combination pizza rolls because the combination ones are the best.
No
Well, yeah.
pepperoni.
The combination ones are better
Pepperoni
than
are
the
the best.
pepperoni. No, they're not.
They're the
They
best.
have pepperoni in them.
Yeah, but I don't like sausage.
You like this sausage, you piece of shit. Now shut up.
Miss me with that gay shit.
Yeah. So take combination pizza rolls and some delicious Monocle's French dressing.
Sweet tart dressing.
Sweet tart dressing, it's French.
It is.
You take your pizza rolls and you dip them in French dressing. And then eat them.
I've never done this, and that sounds so fantastic. I want to give it a try. I wish I would have done it last night because I had pepperoni pizza rolls last night.
The inferior pizza roll.
Do they work with pepperoni pizza rolls? Does it
I'm
work?
sure it will. But let me tell you what I've done with pizza rolls.
Shoved them in your ass.
Nope. I have not done that
The
yet.
combination ones.
Shoved them in your urethra.
Definitely not. I am not into shoving anything to my urethra. I can't say I will never ever get to a point of experimentation where I won't shove something up my ass. More than likely, won't. But never say never, I guess. However,
Yeah, you probably
so
shouldn't say never.
I've done two things with pizza rolls in terms of trying to make my my giant pan of probably a whole regular sized bag of pizza rolls for one sitting.
Rubbed them in a cat turd.
No. One time, so I've done this twice actually. This particular thing, I've spread them out and thrown mozzarella cheese over it, seasoned the mozzarella cheese like I used to at Monocle's, and then I shoved them in the oven. Tastes amazing. Tastes absolutely fantastic.
I bet that hits your gut like a fucking sack of rocks.
Oh boy, it does it. And you will have the absolute worst, most painful gas you have ever experienced in your entire fucking life.
Okay, I'm gonna avoid that.
It tastes so good though.
I've got my sweet tart French dressing. I don't need
Try it.
painful gas.
It's worth the pain at least once. At least once.
So what's the second thing?
The second thing, which I used to do when I was at Monocle's. So, backstory. When I first started working at Monocle's, we used Kraft Ranch, original ranch.
Nasty Kraft Ranch.
But it was and I was like, okay, so that's easy to get. I can just go to the grocery store and get ranch for myself. Before Monocles, I never ate ranch on pizza or anything like that. I never used ranch for anything. So I went and got just a little bottle of Kraft original ranch. It tasted different. It wasn't the same. I was like, what the fuck? So I go to Walmart. This is when I got my first apartment. My first outing on my own. We go to Walmart grocery shopping one night. Probably like one of the first nights we're in our apartment because our apartment was bare.
Right.
I see that Walmart sells the gallons of it. And that's what we had at Monocles because we buy in bulk. So I get this gallon of fucking Kraft Original Ranch for $10. And I also bought like a little like dressing bottle for it. It was the same ranch. It was the ranch that I had come to love putting on my pizzas at work. Why is it different from the little bottle? I do not know. I don't know. It tasted different. It had a different consistency. I didn't understand it. But I decided to start trying it with my pizza rolls. And oh boy. So good.
Yeah, I buy Marzetti Ranch.
My breath is getting so heavy just thinking about it.
Do we need to leave?
Lips are getting wet.
Which ones?
Hey.
But yeah, I buy Marzetti Ranch because it's the only good store-bought ranch that
I've
you
never
can
heard
have.
of that.
It's the one in the refrigerated section. But it's either that or I make my own ranch at home.
Nice. I would like to try your ranch.
It's literally a Hidden Valley packet and some buttermilk.
So why not just buy Hidden
You're a
Valley
piece of
Ranch?
shit.
Because it doesn't have any of the preservatives that Hidden Valley Ranch does that makes Hidden Valley Ranch taste like a sock.
But what if you like socks?
Then you like Hidden Valley Ranch.
I do.
If you're a regular person, you don't fucking like it because it tastes like shit.
Regular person.
You can't tell me right now
I'm
that
not a Hidden Valley guy.
that Hidden Valley Ranch or Kraft Ranch or fucking Ken's Steakhouse or fucking Uncle Ben's or whatever the fuck it is.
Settle down.
No, I'm getting
We're
fired
just
up.
talking about ranch
I'm
dressing.
fucking heritage. You don't fuck with my ranch dressing. You can't tell me that ranch at a fucking restaurant.
Tyler, do you see this?
Yeah,
That's where the heritage is.
I saw it.
That's the waveform that means heritage.
You can't tell. I should get that tattooed.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me that restaurant ranch is the same as Hidden Valley in the fucking bottle because that shit sucks.
All right.
Okay.
Change my
I'm not gonna
fucking
stop
mind.
buying it, but okay.
You just triggered the fuck out of me like Jeff Bezos does to Nick Maxon.
So
Jeff Bezos.
I want you to sacrifice $10, get the gallon of Kraft Ranch.
If I don't like it, will you take it?
Yes.
And give me $5?
Sure.
Hell yeah.
$7.
$7?
$7.50. A 4-pack.
I'll take it for $3.50.
$7.50.
$3.50. No, $7.50. Whatever. I'll buy it off you. Try it. It's different. I don't know why, but not long. The reason I bought it.
You got to refrigerate that whole gallon though after you
I
fucking.
know. I did, and I used it all.
I bathed
no, what I
in
would
it.
do-
I jacked off
What I would
with
do
it.
is I would take that dressing bottle that it was filled with it, and I would take it to work because we switched to the Monocles Buttermilk Ranch. Fuck that shit. It's super
garbage.
ruddy and garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not like made in store or anything. It's literally like we get tubs of it from the fucking Monocles motherland. Wherever
the way
the
you
fuck
put
that
that.
is.
Which is yet to be determined.
I'm guessing around Watseka, Illinois.
Yeah.
But yeah, So I would take that bottle and take it to work every day and just eat my pizza with it.
Did you ever get judged for bringing a bottle of ranch to work?
No.
People are probably like, hey,
Everybody
is that
else.
ranch?
I was like one of the few
It's
people there
semen.
that actually missed the ranch that we had, but I was like, it's just as good. I'm like, fuck off. It's not.
That's fair.
Uh,
Don
So-
Pablo's had really good ranch. R.I.P. Don P. R.I.P.
Yeah.
this one's for you,
Hey,
Don.
this one's for you. I'm drinking Tyler's beer because apparently he's done with it.
I knew you liked the nuggets, so I was gonna let you finish it.
So while we're on the topic of food combinations, I got one for you.
Assholes and dicks.
No.
All right.
I'm gonna say right now, one of the segments that I used to do for Journey into Comics, the segments are what spawned this podcast. I did a segment on weird food combinations, and I'll.
Well,
get
this one will probably go on there.
Sweet.
But okay, so a little bit of backstory, like a micro section, if you will. My dad made this for me when I was a kid. Loved it. I don't know why. It doesn't even sound good together, but he made it all the time, and I don't know where he started making it from.
Peanut butter and tomato sandwich.
Close. But I made it for my kids. I have 2 girls at home. My oldest daughter, she loves them. My youngest daughter, nope. Won't, not even. So, peanut butter and egg sandwich.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'd smash a peanut butter and egg sandwich, no problem.
Interesting.
Fried egg.
Fried egg?
Yep.
Okay.
Not an over easy, not where it's a big mess. Because it's going to be a mess anyway because you're putting hot food on peanut butter. Peanut butter fucking melts and it gets everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It is fucking delicious.
Yeah.
It is a good hearty breakfast too. Plus you got protein from the eggs, plus peanut butter, protein too, and then bread. It's not good for you. But hey, it's a sandwich, so
Bread is the enemy, as I've
it
been
is.
told.
So
But have I given a fuck
But
about the
hey.
enemy? Never.
peanut butter and egg sandwich, for those of you out there that are questioning it, just fucking try it. You'll love it.
I may give that a try.
Peanut butter and tomato sandwich is also very good.
I probably
I have
won't
not
give
tried
a try.
that. I love tomatoes though.
Then you would like peanut butter and tomato. It's got to be good, fresh cut tomato
Like
at your house.
beefsteak, like beefsteak tomato.
I
or-
buy Roma tomatoes because they're smaller and they're
Right.
easier to put on a sandwich.
So the odd food combination I had for my Journey into Comics segment, I can't remember what Brandon and Nate's were, but my weird one was, what I would do this. It originated in when I was in like middle school. I would bring my lunch, and my grandmother would pack my lunch every day. She'd pack usually like a thermos full of SpaghettiOs and meatballs, some grapes or carrots or something, a ding dong, Hostess.
Not Little Debbie.
No, not Little Debbie.
Yeah, garbage.
Host. Yeah, thank you. We know where it's at.
Yeah.
All right.
I used to work for Hostess, but anyway, go ahead.
So and then a small snack size bag of Doritos nacho cheesier. Is it nacho cheese or nacho cheesier?
Nacho cheese,
Nacho cheese.
Okay.
ranch.
No, not the Cool Ranch. It's the nacho cheesier.
Cheese.
Cheese. At one point, it was cheesier.
It
I
was
remember
cheesier. It was
Okay,
a whole
I'm not
marketing
crazy.
thing, but go
I'm
ahead.
not crazy. Thank fuck. Okay, so
That's to
So
be
we'll just
determined.
stick with nacho cheesier because it sounds cooler.
yeah.
I think it sounds douchey, but go ahead.
Well, you know me.
Yes. Let's get this going, 30%er.
I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I ate my ding dong first, the Hostess ding dong, and then I ate the Doritos, and it made the chocolatiness of the ding dong made the nacho cheese of the Dorito just fucking taste so good.
It's a salt.
Yes, it's sweet and savory. Mm-hmm. So this led me to do a couple other things. So again, working at Monocle's in my own hometown, my great grandmother every week or two would make homemade brownies, not like box fucking brownies. She'd make them from fucking scratch. Her brownies.
Put her foot in it.
No, I can't.
Maybe.
I
That-
can't say.
who
I can't
cares?
say. I
They're
didn't
delicious.
watch her make it. It was delicious.
It's an old timey saying when you're cooking something from scratch, you put your foot in it. So
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Heritage.
Literally put your foot in it.
right, or that.
Thank you for once again. Thank you for the heritage. I now have that within my heart.
Good.
America.
I wish I had a heart, but go ahead.
So she would bring them into Monocle's, and I would share like one or two with whoever was working with me. But what I would do is I would eat like half of one, walk over to the make table, grab like a handful of bacon bits, which is just straight up. Or the Monocle's bacon bits are just straight up shredded bacon, not fucking those tiny little fucking things you can buy at the store.
Just be a regular
They're just-
bacon.
They're just fucking bullshit. No, these are fucking straight up shredded bacon, like the fat, the meat, the glory
Not
of it.
Bacos.
It was great.
Yes.
And I would just get like a pinch of it and just throw it in my mouth and just. Yeah, it was good. I later discovered another. If I didn't have ding dongs, Chips Ahoy Chunky Chocolate Chip was a good substitute as well with Doritos.
The diabetes is intensifying.
Yes.
Yeah,
Y'all are gonna try
It doesn't
this.
need to intensify.
If you
over
guys, for those watching, for those listening, please, for the love of fuck, go eat a ding dong
And bacon.
and then some Doritos or a nice fucking fudgy chocolate brownie and eat some bacon bits. Ugh, you'll love it.
Real
I swear to
bacon.
fucking God.
You almost went ASMR there for a minute when you were talking about your Doritos and shit.
Which? Oh yeah. Do you want me to talk about the?
Like that, yeah. Don't do that.
Oh, you don't.
I'm getting erect.
Oh my God. So, yeah. If you wanna try this, make sure it's Hostess Ding Dong with some Frito-Lay.
So you're real close. Have you had chocolate covered bacon then?
See, I'm not a fan of that.
So you've had it and you don't
I
like
have.
it.
See, no.
Is it too close together? Does there need to be
there needs to be like a little
a time spacer?
Yeah. So, because our friend Calvin at work, he does these
Bacon roses.
these bacon roses, which he covers them in chocolate. I don't like them. You got to have the chocolate. You got to let that sit in your mouth for like a couple seconds, whatever, and then they got to come in separately,
Not together.
not
Okay.
together.
What about white chocolate bacon?
Yes, white chocolate bacon is completely
I can't
different.
say- I
It
can't
is
say.
really good.
Can't say I'm personally not a fan of white chocolate. I'm not,
Blasphemy.
but that's just how it rolls, you know. That's just how it rolls. Yeah. So once again, segue into the same subject while we're on food. So, have you ever seen like, I don't even know if I've seen it, but like I feel like vegans have done this thing where they'll be like, you're getting ready to eat a burger, and then like some fucking vegan hippie protester walks up and is like, holds up a picture of a cow, is like, this is the exact cow that you are eating right now. How do you feel about that?
Go ahead, Travis.
I feel great. If God didn't want us to eat the cows, he wouldn't have made them so fucking stupid and slow.
He's not wrong there.
So let me ask you.
And I use God loosely because, as
No, I get you.
Tyler knows, that I'm very non-secular. I wouldn't say I'm like straight atheist. I just
You're
I'm
agnostic.
I can't
I'm
buy
agnostic,
into
so
it. I need
get it.
proof. But that's a whole nother
I'm
subject.
agnostic. I just don't care
I'm Odinistic because I have faith that I'm going to go to Valhalla.
because I have honor.
Not that, but
But
The
if
way-
they're eating a salad, do you go up and say, "Hey, look at this burger. It would taste great." Or you're killing fucking plant
Or do
life.
you see this grass? Do you see this lettuce growing straight from the ground? That's what you're eating. Like that. This is the exact lettuce, dude. So
a
like,
cow shit on that.
I've butchered animals myself.
Yeah.
I've created life. I've raised cattle from birth to fucking slaughter. I've been elbow deep inside of cows and pigs and people, and that was a joke.
People.
I didn't mean to say that,
Yeah.
but I did mean to say it. Who knows if I've really been elbow deep inside of people?
Only Skylar would
Oh,
know.
well, she doesn't even know.
Oh, okay.
But
Or does she?
or does she? But like, it goes back to what we were talking about last night with the vegans. I'm vegan. That are literally trying to genetically modify or push for genetic modification in animals so they are no longer predators. Mm-hmm. Get the fuck off your high horse. No one fucking cares. You are a piece of shit.
So what do you mean no longer a predator?
Vegans are literally trying to genetically modify animals so they no longer.
Hunt other animals?
Yes.
yeah, like they're
How is that not playing God?
They're vegans.
And I use that loosely again.
They're vegans.
Trademark
They
loosely.
don't need God.
So I don't know why, but this whole thing came across my mind today. I can't remember why, but it led me to the whole. So if I were to experience this, said vegan or protester of meat,
Of meats.
just eat regular food. Be a normal guy.
Be a normal gay.
This, if I were to experience this happening to me, I'd be like, that's cool. Like, because I like knowing, like, I think it's kind of cool seeing, like, things like reverse engineered, like, where it came from. You're like, fuck yeah, I'm eating that cow. Shit.
That's a good looking
What's
cow.
That's
what
cool.
was his name?
Like, now I know. Now I know where this fucking sustenance came from.
The more you know.
Yep.
Like, I think that'd be so neat. That'd be so neat. Like, to see something from start to finish. Like, animal to food. Be like, wow, this over here on the right, it used to be this thing over here on the left, and it's so much bigger and alive. But it's over here now, and I'm eating it.
Yeah. I've experienced that my whole life, man. I've literally wrung a chicken's neck until it stopped moving and then plucked it. And,
See, I've never experienced any of this, but like,
yeah, plucked it and then cooked it the same day.
like you always see those stories or some shit like of where like a boy is raising a cow or something, and then it's finally time, or a pig, and it's finally time, do the deed. And by deed, I mean not fuck it, but like
Yeah.
That happened before.
Yeah, that's like,
but like it comes
the
time
day
where
before.
it comes time where like, okay, like this thing's it's ready to be eaten, and they're like, oh, what? Like you've grown the character in the
Attachment.
story has grown attached to it, and like it's raised it. It's its friend now.
That
Fuck
just-
that! It's food.
That just makes it that much more delicious.
It's food.
See, I like I said, I've grown up in an agricultural setting, so I've done all this stuff myself. I've had to slaughter cattle and hogs and do the whole shebang, but I've also flung arrows through the air and killed deer, and then as they're
Oh, you've bow hunted?
I'm a bow hunter.
That has to be so cool.
It's very satisfying.
That has to be so much more satisfying than a gun.
Eh.
Like guns are cool. I'm all for guns,
Same.
but fucking bow, shit, yes.
Yeah, I strictly archery hunt now.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking awesome because I feel like that takes so much more talent, finesse.
It's just not really.
Really? Mm-mm. I feel like it's so much more of a skill.
No, to be a good shooter, it takes just as much dedication and practice.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of disconnect between people who shoot guns and people who actually practice shooting guns and know about ballistics and
Yeah.
a lot of different stuff like me. But yeah, I am strictly an archery hunter now. I have flung arrows through the air and slaughtered deer,
That's awesome.
And
That's
then-
so awesome.
tracked them with their blood trail, and then gutted them and hauled them out. And then, especially with a couple years ago, I'm in my stand. It's starting to get dark. A doe walks in. I plug her. I fucking let that arrow fly. Boom. Takes off through the brush. Standard practice when you're a bow hunter is you knock another arrow because you never know what might come through. A better deer might come through. And like I said, I plugged a doe, so you never know, a buck might come through. So from the opposite direction, a smaller doe comes in. Well, I killed a doe and her yearling fawn within 10 minutes of each other.
Wow.
And then the fawn I took home and deboned myself, and then I ground up all the meat myself, and then I made spaghetti with it the next week. And then for like 6 months, I had free ground beef, which was not beef because it was deer and it was delicious.
You're right. It's not beef. It's deer.
It's the other
Because beef doesn't come from deer.
It's the other red meat.
I've yet to have any deer meat or elk or anything. I've always wanted to try
Both
elk.
are good.
I've wanted to try elk.
I've had a lot of stuff.
Which would you prefer, elk or deer?
Elk.
Elk. Okay.
They're very for somebody who's used to beef and like beef roast and shit. Venison and elk are very lean. They're
Well, it depends on the region, because deer in Iowa, Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, they're not as lean compared to deer in Texas, because deer in Texas eat sage grass and scrub brush. Deer here eat fucking corn and soybeans. Deer in southern Canada eat soybeans and scrub brush and pine cones and It's very region specific, but he's not wrong. They are a lot leaner because they actually have to survive. They don't just wake up and eat and then shit and then eat and then shit and then eat. They actually have to.
Yeah, they're not bred for slaughter. They're in the wild, so
Okay.
And having said that, and knowing how to cook a leaner meat, you can fuck it up real easy.
It takes no fucking effort at all.
And then it becomes basically leather and tastes like shit.
Well, and you have to cook deer meat to a higher temperature than. So most people don't understand this. I'll do a little meat science for us here for all the listeners.
Please.
Meat science.
So
I love meat science.
So when you say I'm going to go to Texas Roadhouse and I'm going to order a steak, you have well recognized ways to order a steak: rare, medium, well done. Okay, the doneness of the meat. People are like, well, I don't eat rare meat because I don't want to get food poisoning. That is bullshit. That physically cannot happen.
As long as it's cooked on the outside, right?
So the way that all of these cooking temperatures are deemed or set is based on the internal temperature, because that's where all the parasites or bad shit can be. So and it's strictly for, like, not beef. For pork, it used to be 145 degree internal temperature. Now it's 140 because the parasite that died at 145 degrees Fahrenheit is now extinct. We have eradicated it from existence in the United States. It's in the underdeveloped countries still, but we don't get meat from underdeveloped countries.
Yeah, fuck off, underdeveloped countries.
Yeah, so now you can cook...
I'm looking at you, Somalia.
Yep,
Yeah.
Fuck you, Somalia, and your pirates. So now you can cook pork to 140 degrees because we don't have to worry about that parasite as long as the meat is from the United States.
Yeah.
So, but...
I don't know any meat we'll be getting from Somalia, but...
No, but...
Or other third
But we
world
do get
countries.
meat. We do get meat from Mexico, and there is a problem with meat from Mexico for lots of reasons. But for beef specifically, there are no major parasites that are found in beef because we've eradicated them over the last 100 years through meat science. But
Hashtag meat science.
hashtag meat science. But literally a steak. If you so
That's
just
another
a
shirt idea.
just a ribeye, okay? If you look at a cross section of a ribeye before it is cut into the steak, it's a big fucking hunk of meat. The outside of that meat is where all the bacteria is because it can propagate. It has oxygen and food and everything that it needs. The inside of the meat is sterile. Bacteria cannot grow. So
Makes sense, yeah.
You cannot get sick from eating raw, or not raw. You can get sick from eating raw beef. You cannot get sick from eating rare steak as long as the outside of the meat was cooked to the temperature to kill bacteria like E. coli, botulism, anything that could be picked up in transit or preparation.
That's why we have blue steaks.
Mm-hmm.
It's cooked.
Yep, it's seared on the outside, completely raw on the inside.
There you go.
Chicken, birds are dirty, disgusting fucking animals. So
Cook the fuck out of those.
you have to cook the fuck out of it.
And seafood.
What
And
about
seafood.
pork?
See, part of the reason seafood has its temperatures is because there's not a good balance between farm raised animals and wild caught animals, because our fishing industry worldwide is so big. To cater to the demand of the world, we could not farm raise enough fish and shellfish to feed the population. So, but part of the reason that is too is as you cook seafood, it breaks down some of the harmful stuff like mercury, and especially with like sport predatory fish that have high mercury contents, tuna, fucking mahi, which is also known as dolphin, all that shit like that. Swordfish, shark.
Swordfish is good.
It's very good, but if you eat a lot of it, you die from mercury poisoning. So, but yeah, it goes back to I've said it literally hundreds of times on Podcastrophe. Do your research, form your own opinions, actually learn shit. It is your responsibility as a person to learn shit.
Yeah.
As they say on Journey into Comics, fill your brain with shit. Because what fucking point is all of this other than to learn and grow and be able to pass that information on to other people?
And not be spoon-fed shit.
And not be fucking spoon-fed sheep full of bullshit. You know, I mean, I don't get why people, you know, so me personally, I don't watch the news. Because it's all, you know, fake news. It's all fake news. It's all bullshit. It's all propaganda. It's all meant to incite fear and anxiety and anger and divide us as people. Do your own fucking research. Figure your shit out for yourself. The fucking tools are out there. We have the fucking internet. Not everything on the internet is true, but you should know by now that when you read something on the internet, whether it's true or not.
Yeah, it's not hard.
No, it's not hard. You don't even have to put forth 30% effort.
Honestly, no. You can just look at the URL.
Yeah.
And you know.
I'm not going to the fucking Onion for my facts. And there's people that do that, and it's fucking sad.
Flat earthers?
Flat earthers.
They did that? That's a thing? They actually went to the Onion for facts?
Yeah, okay. So this is straight from Cameron. I heard a couple really good facts today from...
We need to get him back on here.
We do. But he needs to learn how to speak and get rid of
Yes.
that accent. But, so there's now a new sect of flat earthers that believe that the earth is not flat, that we are actually down in a bowl, okay? And we are surrounded by an ice wall in the bowl, which is Antarctica. He didn't really go into detail any more than that, but we are in a bowl surrounded by Antarctica, and then there's nothing below us, nothing above us, okay? And I said, my first question was, so why haven't we drowned? And he just looked at me and he said, I don't fucking believe this shit. I don't know. And then he said,
That's fair.
He said, you know what? Some of these people probably think that there's a little fucking drain in the bottom of the bowled flat earth. So as the fucking moisture collects, it just drains out of the bottom into space. There's people that believe that out there, Travis. And then the other good one was chemtrails, right? You know, there's all the fucking controversy about chemtrails, all the bullshit.
Yeah.
So there's this organization that is like super conspiracy theoried out about chemtrails, and they sent this guy on an airplane to do, you know, fucking to incriminate the airline basically. And this guy walks on the plane and he sounds like a Somalian, okay? Very uneducated.
Look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yeah. But he walks on the plane and he
Does
goes,
he know the way?
This is what this guy fucking sounded like, Uganda Knuckles.
Oh yeah, he knows the way.
He walks on the plane and he goes, "Are you the pilot?" And the pilot goes, "Yeah."
This sounds like a terrorism act.
"Are you the pilot?" And he goes, "Yeah." "What do you know about chemtrails?"
Very, very discreet.
I looked this video up on the way over here.
Discreet.
The pilot goes, "Nothing." And then the video cuts right there and goes, you know the Fallout 3, like when you're hacking a computer, like the green text and how it...
Yeah.
This is how the text was laid out on the screen after the video cut, and it's like, well, this is extremely incriminatory because the pilot said he didn't know, which meant that he knows everything about chemtrails. Going even further than that, I said, what exactly are the chemtrails? There are people out there believe that chemtrails are actually machinery that we have attached to the turbines of jet planes, and they are filled with nanobots. And as the chemtrails are released into the atmosphere, these nanobots fall down, and then we inhale them. And I said, okay, you know, that's kind of a cool theory. And then what? And Cameron goes, they don't know. We're just inhaling these nanobots. And I said, okay. And he said, yeah, there's another one. If you take a mouthful of grape soda, any grape soda, and you spit it into a petri dish, and then you take a mouthful of red wine and spit it into the petri dish, that the nanobots start to die and the liquid starts to move around. what is actually happening is the red wine is reacting with all the chemicals and stuff that are in the grape soda, and it's breaking down all the amino acids that are in. It's actually breaking down the protein chains that are contained in the liquid.
Beverage science.
Yep.
It sounds like Kel needs to get off that orange soda
Yep.
and get on that grape soda.
Well, the fucking nanobots, man. We don't want him drinking nanobots.
That purple drink.
Purple drink.
Purple drink.
What flavor do you want? Sugar water purple. But I watched this video. It does look like the liquid is moving because it actually kind of is, because the amino acid chains are breaking down and dissolving. So it's kind of a trippy image. Mm-hmm. It's not fucking nanobots dying. Stop fucking believing shit like that.
I'm glad you brought this up because a couple weeks ago I posted one of the Change My Mind memes.
I posted a good one this morning.
You did? Which one was it?
I'm offended. Change your mind.
Oh, the triggered chick. Change your mind. Yeah. So I posted one, and it was a picture. It was in the place of the guy at the table. It was a picture of the Earth, and it says, "I'm round. Change my mind." And I was surprised. I was shocked.
Skylar, make me some pizza rolls.
No, you only need 13 minutes at 425 degrees.
You got to heat the oven up.
Preheat, yeah, that's fair.
So 18 minutes.
So
my oven takes forever to preheat.
So I had a friend, and I haven't talked to this friend in a while. Haven't hung out with her in a while, but I always really enjoyed her company. Really enjoyed conversations with her. They were always really deep. And
did you try and have coitus with her?
I did at one point.
All right,
actually.
that's fair.
Like did try or did?
No way, I did.
Oh, okay.
But and I it's been years, but like she just happened to get back on Facebook at this particular day. Like hadn't been on Facebook in forever. Got back on Facebook, saw this, and decides to comment. And she was full on flat earther. And I've never been like so crushed, disappointed, and conflicted in my life.
Not
like,
just disappointed in her, disappointed in yourself.
Nah, not disappointed in myself. Because at this point, like, it had been a long time since I'd even talked to her. But, like, I was like, no, not you. Like, you were, like, so stable-minded and all that. And, like, but at the same... And there's part of me that's like, I can't have that in my life. Like... And then there's another part of me was like, but she was so cool and, like, really fun to talk to, and I could have really good conversations with her. But it's like, flat earther, are you fucking kidding me? She's like, no, there's evidence.
I'm moving to the ice wall, man.
There's not evidence. That's the thing.
What is their evidence? What do they say that is evidence?
Tyler, take it away.
That's what I want to know.
That I don't even really
I've
fucking know.
I've heard the ice wall thing where everything...
Yeah, I've heard that.
It's kind of Pangea-ish, and Antarctica is what keeps everything together. And then there's that other meme that said, there's no way the Earth is flat, because if it was flat, cats would have knocked everything off the edge. I love that. That's hilarious.
That's pretty much the only factual evidence that they have.
Because, I mean, it's... you have a cat.
I do.
I've had cats.
My cat's not
They
one of those
do
cats,
that.
though. My cat does not do that. He doesn't really.
If the Earth
shit.
was flat and
Is
there
that
was
just 'cause
shit
he's
on
fat
the
and he
edge,
can't get up on shit?
No, you know how athletic my cat is.
I've seen him.
He's not really athletic. He's very agile.
He does parkour.
He does fat shit parkour.
The only thing my cat's ever done, really, in terms of like fucking with shit.
Does he ever shit on your face?
No, he shits all over the floor from time to time. He just started doing it like 6 months ago. I don't know why. But
He's getting old.
probably he's 6. He's like 7 years old.
Cats get old fast, man.
Yeah. But no, the only time he's ever really fucked with shit is he really has a fascination with like those rubber bracelets, and like he won't even see where you put it, but he will seek it out.
Like the silicone, like the
Like
old
the
Live Strong bracelets.
Like, but I used to get those from like bands and stuff. Like you can get them at Hot Topic or at shows.
Remember when those were popular?
Yeah,
makes me feel fucking
Remember
old.
slap bracelets?
Oh God, that's even older. Fuck.
Anyway.
But no, my cat seeks these out, and like it's the only thing he'll fuck with.
He fucks them.
No, he'll chew the hell out of them.
Alright.
I have a couple I have a couple that I got like on tour, like from bands that I saw, like A Day to Remember. I got one from one of their concerts. That was like a memory from that concert, and he just fucking, oh my god, something's on top of that table. I can't see it, but I know it's a bracelet. I'm gonna jump up there, and I'm gonna eat the fuck out of it. Yeah, because my cat's a fuck.
He's a fat piece of
He's
shit.
a fat piece of shit.
The whole time he's thinking, how dare you bring this in this house?
How
I will
dare you."
save you! Fucking
Instead,
sit there
it's-
and destroy it.
and like what you just said was like the English version. The cat translation is
Yeah.
that. My cat's a fuck.
He's a fat fuck.
But yeah, so that, I guess that sums up my disappointment in my friend. I don't know how to carry forward. I don't know if I want to stay friends. I feel like it's a really stupid, petty thing, just because I don't believe what she believes.
At least keep her around for the entertainment value.
But like, you know what I mean, though. Like,
Well,
I don't want to stop being friends with people that are like religious and believe in God just because I don't believe that. I feel like that's
But we
narrow-minded.
can't prove whether God exists or not. We've proved
I know
hundreds
I
of
know.
years ago that the fucking Earth is not flat.
But, you know-
the Earth is not flat. Mercury's not flat. Venus is not flat. Mars is not flat. Pluto, the fucking dwarf planetoid, is not fucking flat. So why is the goddamn fucking Earth flat?
You're right. You're completely right. That's not what I'm getting at. The point is, like, okay, so she believes this. How is that hurting me?
The point that I'm trying to
Whatsoever.
make, Blaine, is people that believe the fucking Earth is flat are going out of their way to fucking argue with fact because they have some
You're right.
cockamamie
Yeah.
opinion that is bullshit. There is no fucking concrete evidence that God exists. People still believe in it. Cool. Have your faith. There is concrete evidence that fucking Earth is not flat. If you believe in that, you are uneducated and you are going out of your way to be uneducated
Yeah.
and spit fucking stupid propaganda at people who are educated. And people who
Yeah.
are uneducated and they believe the shit too.
Yeah, because they're dumb and they don't know how to do any better.
Yeah. people who fucking believe the Earth are flat are like our government. Like, hey, there's stupid people out there. They'll believe this shit. Take it. Eat it up.
I kind of want to end it there.
Let's get some closing thoughts.
Let's get some closing thoughts. Yeah. So, Dark Souls, I should probably play it.
At least watch some YouTube videos.
I have.
Okay.
well, you should definitely play it then.
All right. You guys should eat a ding dong and then some Doritos nacho cheesier.
I'll eat some nacho
Fried
cheese
egg and peanut
Doritos.
butter.
All right. I will definitely try a fried egg with peanut butter sandwich.
Peanut butter and tomato.
I probably
Also
won't.
that.
I probably won't do that.
You don't like tomatoes.
Not a fan.
Okay.
He's one of those picky eater people.
I'm one of those picky eater people that will eat ketchup but not tomatoes.
Yeah, I say that's my argument with
All
my
right,
kids all
real
the
quick.
time.
Now fuck off.
I
But
have
it's
to
not
bring
the
this
same
up.
thing.
I have to bring
All
this
right,
up.
do it.
Do you think it's weird, Travis, that I dip my grilled cheese in ketchup?
Yes.
Do you dip your grilled cheese in tomato soup?
It's
No.
different. It's
Usually
different.
I just eat them straight up.
There are different things in ketchup. There are other added things in ketchup than tomato soup.
Like sugar.
You don't think there's sugar in tomato soup?
Not as much as ketchup.
yeah, it's
Is the
completely
sugar
different.
there or not?
It's a completely different consistency. It's a different taste.
I can make potato soup. I can make potato
soup.
I can make.
I can make
Yeah,
potato
go
I can-
for
I
it.
can
Yeah.
make
some
tomato-
potato soup.
I can make
You
some tomato
fuck.
soup the same consistency of ketchup.
I'm sure you can.
I could.
crackers.
And and you know what I'd say? That's ketchup. I'm not eating it with the grilled cheese. I'll dip my chicken nuggets in it.
What the hell is all that?
What? Oh, that right there?
Yeah.
That's the outro that we're coming up on.
All right.
What if we end it like perfectly to where
Well,
it's
then
almost...
we got to keep talking for
Oh,
how
shit.
long is that?
well, okay. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to do it. I still got to plug. We still got to do plugs.
Check out all our shows on the Journey into Comics Network and check out our Journey into Comics Network Patreon where you get really cool fucking shit. There's our plug.
Yeah, $1 early access, $3 bonus content. You can check us out live on Facebook.com/Podcastrophe every Wednesday around 5:30. Bye, guys. Yeah, we went over. I tried.
You're a fucking piece of shit.
I did. Yeah, whatever.
Then just move it back.
Yeah.
But yeah, if that's all. You know, thank you so much, Travis. You've been a wonderful guest. Glad to have you on here.
I appreciate you guys inviting me, man. I had a good time.
You know, a couple days from now, your Voice of Survival is going to drop. I can't wait to listen to it.
To that.
It'll be one of the only Fool's Week shows I've listened to. So I'm going to listen to that and Brews with Babes, finally. Tyler, again, best co-host ever.
Thank you. I am.
But, you know, that's all.
That's all.
Bye, guys. Make every day a big dick day.
Heritage.
Woke up this morning with my dick in my hand. Girl is to the right of me, just like I planned. It's gonna be a big dick day. 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 Big dick day. It's gonna be a big